This is a bullet hole. Because of this vest, a young police officer is going home.
Our shooter has been identified as Bernardo Raul Castro Mata. He is 19 years old. He has no prior arrest in New York City. However, he is a suspect in several robbery patterns currently going on in the borough of Queens. This shooter currently resides at 90-10 Ditmars Boulevard, the former Courtyard Marriott Hotel, now being operated as the Landing Family Shelter. During tonight's incident, Castro Mata was observed illegally operating an unregistered motorbike the wrong way down a one-way street. Similar scooters and bikes are being used citywide to commit crimes. These crimes include shootings, robberies, and phone snatches. Many of these crimes have all been committed by the perpetrators riding on scooters and motorbikes. Just to paint you a quick picture of how many of these crimes are being committed, January 1st to June 1st, 2022, 0 robbery patterns involving motorized scooters or motorcycles. The same time period, 2023, 20 robbery patterns. Year to date so far this year, January 1st to June 1st, 2024, we have over 80 robbery patterns citywide involving incidents where the perpetrators are riding motorized scooters or motorcycles. That's over 80 robbery patterns alone, encompassing over hundreds and hundreds of incidents.
Hey, this your boy Billy. Welcome back to the channel. And to think, guys, that I've actually paid up to $400 for one-way flights. When you got the federal government paying for illegal prostitutes to get to their dick appointments. Let's get into the video, man, so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about.
And what this is, and I want everybody to see it clearly, federal policy drives illegal immigrant crime and victimization. And that's the focus, other than our victims of human trafficking. Listen, folks, I want to introduce you to Andres Gill, okay? Here's this guy. He's also on this board, but get a look at him for a second. He came down here from New York with 3 females. All of them are in the country illegally. Did you hear what I said? They're all here illegally. He's the one that comes with them to drive them.
And just so people know, this is in Florida, where Sheriff Grady is.
These ladies are all controlled by a human trafficker. We think their human trafficker is a female. She sets up their appointments, she puts their ads online, she tells them where to go. And by the way, on Friday,
wow, man,
the victims of human trafficking, and we've grayed them out, 3 of them that are here illegally from Venezuela, 3 of them have to pay her $3,000 a piece on Friday, or else they're threatened. So they're not free. They're really indentured, and they're quote unquote paying off their debt. Now here's what they told us, all right? I'm sure the federal government will verify that this is not true, but you decide who you want to believe, whether you want to believe these victims of human trafficking or the whitewash the federal authorities give you.
And you know how crazy that is, guys? You know how crazy the country has to be with all this shit that the sheriff, like the police and the sheriff are coming out and telling you like, hey guys, the federal government and the FBI and all them are full of shit. Don't listen to them, they're full of shit. They're going to lie to you. You know how bad shit has to be for it to get to that point? Wow, man. Nasty work.
They said that when they came into the country illegally, DHS gave them a form, an ID, paperwork that allows them to fly for free. You know, Southwest would let your bags fly free. Well, the federal government will let your illegal immigrants fly free. And they operate out of New York. And they were working up there, and the New York authorities said, hey, if you don't have identification, you can't work in our sex trade up here. You know, we don't allow sex trade here at all, but New York will allow you to do some stuff if you've got the proper authority. So they say they make a lot of money. They're addicted.
So now you have the federal government and New York authorities basically telling these people like, hey, you at least got to have an ID to sex work out here. It's not legal here, but you know, due to the policy right now that we have in place, you know, you don't really get in trouble for it. You can't get, you know, really prosecuted or anything for it. So just as long as you do it here, make sure you got the proper ID. How fucking crazy is that? I wonder how many American women have been arrested for prostitution and all this other stuff, trying to get them a little money. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that's right at all. I respect women more than they respect themselves when it comes to shit like that, because I don't agree with none of that shit. But that's just my opinion. Doesn't hold any weight. But you know, like, I wonder how they feel about this. How many times they done been to jail, had to pay all this money, spent time in prison and all this, and then illegal immigrants are paid by Biden to come here and do more illegal shit like prostitution to get even richer. Wow, man. Only thing Biden has done in office is slap Americans right in their face and use our money to pay for all the shit he doing that we get mad about.
Addicted to it. These ladies are going to give you more details. They tell us that they fly to major metro centers for free on the federal government, where they set up their appointments for sex all around the country. Did you hear what I said?
You hear what he said? Big Daddy Biden selling illegal immigrant cat all over America. Free flights. But we got to pay $500, $600 for the one way.
Listen, folks.
Oh, and on that one way, you got to worry about your fucking tires falling off, the side of your plane blowing open, your plane catching on fire, or just falling out the sky. So remember that. Biden regime, people.
If they don't pay $3,000 a piece on Friday, they're in trouble. The human trafficker sets up the deal. Hey, this deal is just outside of Tampa. They say they show this ID, this card, this paper, they fly for free down here. Then they fly back.
Wow.
But we heard a similar theme from all 21 of these.
Hold up. So they flying like they Kim Kardashian or something. So they just flying down to Florida to sell some cat and then flying right back to where they was at in New York or wherever they coming from. Wow, man. No American has ever had that privilege, man. Like, and it's crazy because the ones who's never had this type of privilege or, you know, this type of support from our government, we're paying the bill for all this shit. We're footing the bill for all this. But we've never had this treatment. Man, anybody who votes for a Democrat or even says anything about them in a positive way is fucking delusional or they're paid off. Those are the only two choices that there is. The only two choices in existence at this point.
Folks, we can't work legally. We're addicted to this cash. It's a lot of cash and it's quick, so we have to give $3,000 a week. We get to keep everything above that. We have a crisis at the border. And because of the crisis at the border, we have people that are victimizing illegal folks, forcing them into the sex trade because we allow these criminals in the country illegally. We all rail about this and nobody pays any attention. And then we want to politic everything. Oh, we had a good piece of legislation that limited the average to only 5,000 illegals a day in the country, and then we can shut it off. Well, if you can shut it off at 5,000 people illegally coming in this country a day, you can shut it off at no people illegally coming in this country a day.
Bingo. Ding, 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 ding. You could shut that shit off completely. Haven't we allowed enough people in? Close to about 20 million at this point? Like, oh my God, man. This shit is unbelievable. And we, like I said, we're paying for all this. He's actually giving these people thousands of dollars, and I think he just gave like $500,000 amnesty. While everybody's worried about the whole Trump debacle, all the fake charges and shit. And I hope everybody get out, because all this shit is like, come on, how bad is it gonna get people for you to understand the party that's in control right now? Okay, yeah, Republican Party is dog shit too. You know, the only thing about that is we have Freedom Caucus in there that just has the run Republican because that's the only other choice. People know it's only two choices in America: Democrat or Republican. So what if we want to be independent? Nobody's gonna get that much power to push independent to them levels of Republican and Democrat right now. It's just not being realistic. So we have to go with what we can got at the moment, basically. So really, once we kick out these rhinos and shout at the Republican Party, man, we'd be good. But like, you have to understand that Democrats are your enemy. They hate you. They want to destroy America. They're bringing in communists. They're changing state flags to fucking foreign, like foreign looking flags, all type of shit, man. Anti-American. And they're brainwashing Americans into hating their home. Well, guess what? If there's no more America, you don't have a home. You could sit here and bring up all your little weird, weak arguments. Oh, what? This was stolen land. It was stolen from this and that. All fucking land is stolen land. All land had war, slavery, death, and all that. But all of them moved on from them time periods too, just like America did. But people don't want to admit the truth. But Democrats are your fucking enemy. I don't know how much evidence you need to see it, guys.
But the politicians are politicking while the victims are being victimized. I read an article this week that says, well, the illegals coming here aren't committing crime at any greater percentage than the people who are here legally. What they didn't tell you is if they weren't here illegally at all, the crime they would commit here would be zero.
Facts.
So we're
Facts. You know how refreshing it is to hear common sense? And Sheriff Grady always brings common sense. You know, he gives all the big press conferences for Florida criminals getting arrested and stuff, but I always bring common sense. It's so refreshing. People look for that and everything. They make it about, everything's so colorized. They make everything about color. People aren't concerned with that shit right now. Yeah, on the internet, it's a whole bunch of weirdos who just obsessed with that shit. It's a mental illness in America. Like skin color, racism is just a mental illness in America that needs to be treated. But, you know, people don't care about that shit in reality. They gravitate to common sense and logic. It doesn't matter what the skin color of the person is. If you're talking like you got a brain in your head, people are going to gravitate towards you. And that's just the facts. It's so refreshing to hear just common sense and logic, man. Shout out to Sheriff Grady.
So we're being victimized. But that doesn't make any difference on the national level. You see, because they sit up there behind their gated communities and in Congress, and they play politics back and forth between the two parties.
Facts.
Wow. Illegals are victimized. Citizens are victimized. Children are victimized. You got this goofy looking kid here who's making sure that they come up with $3,000 a week apiece, and he's here illegally.
Nasty work.
It's a mess, and it doesn't have to be. If we can deal with it and catch it on the local level, they can stop it on the federal level.
Facts.
Shame on all of them, every one of them, for not getting together and saying, you know, there are things bigger in this country than my individual politics.
Facts. Facts. Shout out to Sheriff Grady, man, and shout out to all the logical people out here with brains that's using their brains. Because this shit is just, like, at this point, it's going to be irreversible, guys. You know, everybody's just hoping to get out of this shit in 4 years and just be able to change something. But at the speed they're going to, with their destruction of society and civilization and just America and everything, like, it's going to be irreversible. Like, we're shattered for decades. Like, I might be an old man before this shit start to turn around. Unfortunate, man. But y'all seen it like I seen it. Got to get ready to go to work. Try to upload more too. I just been working a lot, writing a book, doing different things, guys. But make sure you hit that share, like, and subscribe button for me. I really appreciate it. I just got the strikes off my channel. I'm trying to get my flow back up on the algorithm. So I appreciate everything. Like, comment, and share. Y'all seen like I seen it. I'm out.